running routes with junctions for different routes depending on daily form due to difficulty of predicting such. Sometimes I wake up and I have a very bad day, sometimes I wake up and I have a very good day. On the good day, I might want to do a run which is longer, but also more intense maybe, and also includes more hills compared to a day in which I might not have a very good run. Nonetheless, I think that the beginning and the end of the run should be somewhat stable. What this now introduces is the difficulty of finding a running route in between. So what one could do is to solve this problem is to establish different junctions in this running route at which one could now take different running routes. And so one basically has kind of an arch, and the arch is maybe, so let's say, okay, there are the beginning and the end is each one string, and then in the middle there are these different points which could possibly connect these threads now. So the threads open up. So why does it make so much sense to have the beginning and the end the same? Well, first of all, you probably want to end up where you started the run. So the beginning and the end need to reroute eventually to your home. Now, in between, you have these different constraints, but also these different variables. So you have the constraint, for example, that you probably cannot run more, in my case, than a 10K without getting into the risk of, so if I run 8 to 10K, the risk of somewhat injured tendons or at least hurting tendons for the next days might be increased, for example. So there are different constraints I have. I also don't want to run for 16 hours, but maybe for 40 minutes or maybe for 1 hour and 20 minutes at max or something like this. So these junctions in between should then over time be explored, and then one can make up different running routes. So I can, at a certain point, for example, where I run over a bridge, decide where I want to go up the hill, and this then, I know already, increases the running route at least to a possibility of now 8 kilometers instead of the 5. And it also now gives me additional 80 meters of additional height, so elevation, which then also has more elevation training in this running. And so one could then model out this ideal route, and every time I leave my apartment complex, I also go through the same door again and again. Of course, I could take different doors if I want to go in a different direction, but what I found is that I want to keep the beginning, especially, very strict, because otherwise the hurdles of getting to the run, so basically getting from my apartment to the run, to all these different junctions, is kind of prevented, or at least the chance of it is kind of decreasing, or it is harder and harder because there are more things I need to think about. The less things there are I need to think about, i.e. variables, the more or the easier the optimization then is.